Hello, it's Mark here from Make 'em Yours, and I did promise you another video on Tinder, so I'm going to deliver. Today we're talking Tinder profiles and how to write a Tinder profile. Now, if you haven't watched my previous video on writing a larger online dating profile, definitely have a look at that one, links in the description. But today I'm going to tell you how you can summarize your life very effectively into the tiny space that Tinder provides. Stay tuned. All right, Tinder profiles. How do you write a great Tinder profile that attracts the best men in to match with you? Well, there's three central concepts I talk about when it comes to writing Tinder profiles, but the first thing you want to do before you do any of that, and I get my clients to do this, by the way, is write a list. And in this list, you're going to write things I get excited about, can talk about, participate in, and also things I'm excited to do, have done, want to do, aim for. You can be really varied with this list, but what you've got to do is get 15 to 20 items on this list that are very specific to you. So here's an example of a list that one of my clients wrote. So you can see, she's into music festivals, seeing live music, soundwave, fitness is important to her. She talks about movies and dates and watching musical theatre and cycling and Europe, Switzerland travel, Palm Cove and Cairns, entrepreneur, Sweden, board games, strawberry daiquiris. You can see it basically goes everywhere and really covers who she is specifically as a person. Okay, so you've written your list and you've got all the things about you, just like my client there did. What do you do with that now? How do you turn this giant list of things into something you can actually use on Tinder? Well, the first thing you want to do, the first concept to understand with Tinder is you want to make it specific. So I talked about this in the other dating profile video as well, but you really want to make sure that your profile is inch specific to you. In other words, another woman couldn't put your profile up as hers and have it roughly describe her. So things like, I love hanging out with friends, I like easygoing people, I love travel, they don't work because they apply to everyone. You want to find things that are very specific to you, and that's what your list is for. Your list is going to play a big part of that. Second thing you want to do is there's a structure to Tinder profiles, and you want to structure it so that the first 2/3, so about the first 30 to 35 words or so is about you. And the last 15 words, 10 to 15, maybe 20 words, is about what you're looking for in a man. Right at the end, you sign off with a little call to action, introduce yourself. All right, and the third thing is size. So you want to bite size everything. You remember that 300 word list that we had from that one particular client? I've got to get that down into 30 words. So what you need to do is to remember that that still gives you about 5 to 6 sentences of about 5 to 6 words. Each of those sentences can reflect 1 to 2 interests on there. Everything has to be small chunked. You want to allude to lots of things about yourself without giving specific details on any of them. You still want the thing to be specific, you just don't go into detail on that thing. So let's have a look at how I narrowed down 300 words into 30 or so for this client. So you saw the big list that we had before, and this was her final profile. Not a 9 to 5 girl. Heart Musical Theatre. Soundwave, rest in peace, because that festival died. And Blues Fest, emoji. CrossFit and Latour wannabe, to reflect both her fitness loves. A little bit about movies is in there. Time zone over dinner and a movie to reflect her ideal date. Daiquiris at Cloudland, surfing at Byron Bay, and the Brandenburg Gate at Berlin. 31 words, and we've summed up almost 300 words of content in there. You can then see that at the end we go into what she's looking for in a man. Heart man who can laugh at himself, plus value health, character over career, generosity is sexy, and a call to action right at the end, introduce yourself. In that profile, she's gotten really specific to her. Everything she's written there is incredibly specific to what was on that list. She structured it, so there was 2/3 about her, 1/3 about what she was looking for, and a little call to action at the end, introduce yourself. And everything has been bite-sized. We've used emojis, we've used greater than, less than size, we've used hearts. We've only used 1 to 2 words to describe each interest, but they're still specific to her. That is a great Tinder profile right there. It alludes to lots of things. It tells the men to introduce themselves, what she's looking for, and it makes her sound freaking awesome because she is. And you are too, but you've got to represent it in your profile. So when you write a Tinder profile, remember those 3 things. Write your list, keep it specific to you, get your structure right, and bite-size everything, and you will have a fantastic Tinder profile that attracts the best men to you on Tinder. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot out of it. Don't forget to check out the other 2 Tinder videos as well. There's one on photos and there's one on how to use Tinder. So between the 3 of them, you should have an awesome kickstart on Tinder and you will be a woman who stands out to the best men on Tinder. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below, leave your thoughts, leave your comments, questions. I want to hear them all. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I shall see you very soon in the next video.